to everybody in the LTP program. This is my final assignment of discussing who I feel I am as a leader. First of all, I would like to thank everyone that was involved in making this program. This has been very insightful and an interesting experience to go through. I've really enjoyed the process. I've enjoyed vast majority of the assignments we've had to do. I've appreciated getting to know everyone involved in the LTP program, and I was really, really grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this. So moving on now, who I am as a leader, who I've learned I've become as a leader through this process. One of the biggest things I know I am as a leader and just generally as a person is I'm a collaborator. I love to collaborate with people. I love to get other people's insight. I love to get other people's opinions. I love to talk through situations, talk through problems. I do this in my personal life all the time. I do it in my work life all the time. You could just talk to Eric or Jesse, and they will tell you that I am constantly talking through things with them all the time. So I really appreciate other people's opinions. I really appreciate other people's feedbacks, and hearing my problem through someone else's voice really helps me be able to work through in my head what I feel the best steps forward will be. So as a leader, I continue to collaborate with people. I will continue to look to my subordinates to get their feedback, get their opinion, um, and be able to work through a problem. Um, Another thing I am as a leader, I'm a communicator. Goes along with being a collaborator. Once again, I like to talk through issues. Um, and I've found, and I know it's been said through many different situations, is that the best way to gain insight on a problem is to ask someone else. Um, if someone asks you a problem, or if someone asks me a problem, I'm really good at spouting off, oh, I would do this, this, and this, and this. But if I'm in that same situation and I'm dealing with the thoughts and the consequences of each of my issues, um, I'm much more contemplative of the situation. So if I hear from someone else's opinion, even if the solution is somewhat obvious, it's always nice to hear that someone else is thinking in the same line of thinking as you. So I love to communicate, and yeah, that's something I constantly do. Um, Another thing that I am big on as a leader is fostering a positive work environment. I think it is massively important to have um, your subordinates, your employees, whoever it is, um, they need to feel appreciated. They need to feel liked. You don't have to be the best of friends, but they need to feel valued as an employee. So doing small gestures. I know when I was the interim head of the at the college I was working at, um, I would randomly buy pizza for my staff. Um, and that was a small gesture, but it let them know I appreciated all the work that they were doing and all the effort they were putting in. And it wasn't in vain. It was seen, it was appreciated, it was valued. I think that's massively important, because if you have people that don't feel valued, they're not going to be an employee very long. They're going to go try to find another situation where they are valued. Um, so I think that's a large aspect that I like to do. Um, Another thing is I like to give my subordinates autonomy. It's it's something I appreciate. I like being able to have autonomy, even though I am a collaborator and a communicator. But I like to be able to, once I'm done talking through my process, I like to be able to just go off on my own and get my stuff done, and then come back with a finished thing. Um, I like to do that for my subordinates too. Um, if um, I don't with a subordinate, I don't want to have to look over their shoulder all the time, because if I feel I'm looking over their shoulder all the time, they might not be the best choice for the person that I'm working with. Um, but if I'm able to give them autonomy, let them do what they need to do, and we just talk through situations as they come up, I'm fine with that. Um, Positive reinforcement is another big thing. Once again, it goes down to being valued, being appreciated is a huge, huge thing. Especially, I know myself as uh, someone who works for a couple bosses, it's really, really appreciated. Um, a couple of challenges that I know I have to deal with is um, for myself is staying on task. Going back to the Extreme Ownership book, it's prioritize and execute. I tend to kind of get distracted by a new project and kind of leave a project in the weeds a little bit sometimes, and I need to get better on doing that. I think once again, finding subordinates who counterbalance your abilities and priorities is massively helpful. It can be a little difficult sometimes, but it's hugely helpful. Um, Another thing that could happen is with my style is sometimes subordinates can get a little complacent. They can get comfortable um, and kind of go off of what I do and kind of get distracted. So that's something I need to be aware of and take time to manage. And another thing is uh, I need to be able to make decisions without getting bogged down in debate, because once again, I like to communicate, I like to talk to people, I like to get opinions. But when I make a decision, I need to make sure that's my decision and I move forward with it. But once again, I've really, really enjoyed my time in the LTP program. I really appreciate everyone who is involved in developing this course. And thank you to everybody who I got to know throughout this process. I really enjoyed it. So thank you very much.